Thank you for joining me for innate astrology. We're going to be looking at the Libra full moon that is coming up on late the night of the 5th and into the 6th of April. First, we're going to take a look at all of the energies that are going to be interacting with it, the aspects of the other planets and how they'll play into this full moon energy. Now, the Libra full moon is happening at 16 degrees, and that is a Cancerian degree. So there's going to be a lot of focus on looking deeper at and creating balance within the energy in our lives that makes us feel at home. The energy that allows us to relax and be ourselves, our private space, our private time, the people that we interact with in that space. And does it allow us to take off our mask and really be comfortable? Do we feel safe and nurtured in that energy? That's the foundation of everything else that we experience in our daily existence. If our home, our foundation energy, be it literal or metaphorical, is not a supportive space, if the energy is difficult, then of course it affects all other parts of our daily life. Now, the full moon illuminates, it shows us things. That can be literal. We know that there are times when the full moon helps us find things, literal things that have been lost, material possessions. But more often, it is about helping us see psychologically, emotionally, intuitively, and sometimes literally, the things that affect us in a clearer light. Now, with this being a Libra full moon, that is an air. So this is going to be a lot of thought and communication about these subjects. It can be love, sudden destined meetings, or a clarity within love that we're already experiencing with others. There's always that aspect. And there are some planetary connections that could increase that. So those connections that we have during this film, let me get my notes out here. Now, Jupiter is conjunct the sun, so of course it is conjunct this full moon. So it's going to be expanding and giving a comfortable ease to the energy. And it's also going to be bringing that desire for understanding and greater knowledge that Jupiter represents. Now, the moon is quincunxing Uranus. So that is an energy that has us reflecting. It has us really looking at how things have worked in the past, how they haven't worked, and considering new approaches, considering something different and unusual that perhaps could create a better circumstance. Now, Mercury is sextiling Mars and Saturn, which are in a trine. So Mars and Saturn are feeling great. It's, I often call it like a backyard barbecue. Mars and Saturn are comfortable together with that trine, and it brings synchronicity and a touch of unexpected luck to interactions that are under a trine energy. So all of the desired actions that we may find ourselves wanting to take as we move through this energy, Saturn is saying that it will help us create them in a way that has structure, that is solid and lasting. And with it sextiling Mercury, Mercury, of course, is our thoughts and communications. So sextile is a very harmonious energy. That's going to give us clarity of thought, clarity of communication, and it's going to be pleasant. It is going to make it easy to create a clear, solid mental structure around the actions that we might decide we need to take after we move through this Libra full moon energy. Now, that particular aspect is conjunct the North Node. And that, of course, gives a bit of destiny to everything. Helps us see things that are meant for us, that are part of our path. And that North Node is sextiling Saturn. So that's another comfy, lovely, pleasant energy. But now all of that is squared by Pluto, which means that Pluto is helping us really see the realistic side of what we experience in this energy. And it's helping us move through it in a way that is going to be permanent, where we can't turn around and perhaps move back into an energy that is uncomfortable or unhealthy. And the North Node is square Pluto. So the North Node is asking Pluto to make sure that as we move through this energy and we consider what changes need to be made, what needs to transform, the North Node wants Pluto to make sure that we stay on a path that is going to lead us into the direction we should be moving in our life, into a positive direction. Now with this, we have Lilith squaring this energy. Now Lilith is where we feel we are sacrificed, where our value has been unrecognized or sacrificed for something or someone else. And we tend to respond to that with a spiteful or rebellious energy. So Lilith is putting pressure on this energy to understand and to heal those parts of us that feel that. And Lilith is still being trined by the Sun in Chiron. So there is the very healing energy of the Sun shining on all of this. And Chiron, who has been wounded and understands what it is to be unappreciated for your authenticity and who you truly are, is helping to heal that feeling that Lilith brings in of not being understood or appreciated, not having our value recognized. So there's a lot of healing energy in this as we look at what we need to balance and how our connections to others, which is Libra, how that in the natural zodiac, the 7th house is our connection to others, be it friends, work, lovers. We're going to be looking at how that balance of energy moves in our life. You have to remember that we always look at the other end of the axis as well, which is Aries. Aries and Libra are always across from each other. So this full moon is going to be putting a lot of light on our individual self, the Aries side, where it's about what we need and who we are. So it's about looking at what is of value with our connections and balancing that energy out and letting it be distributed in a more fair way. Libra is about balance and distribution and our connections to others, the committed connections that we stay with, whether it be business or love, friendship. So there's going to be an energy of really looking at that clearly in our lives and trying to find a balance that is beneficial for not only ourselves but others in our lives. Now Venus is sextiling Neptune, which is an incredibly beautiful creative energy, but it can also create rose-colored glasses in relation to others in our lives. So there are energies here to help us see clearly, but keep that in mind, that Neptune can sometimes bring a haze or a fog to how we see what's happening around us. Now, that Venus sextile Neptune is trining Pluto. So that bit of luck and synchronicity, all that harmonious energy, Pluto's there to make sure that we do see clear, that we do see the reality of things, and help us make decisions and transformations that will permanently bring a positive energy into our life. We always are culminating. Sorry, I dropped my mic. I hope that wasn't too loud. We're always culminating on a full moon, the energy that started in the same sign with a new moon. Now that was September 25th of last year, 2022. So we may be looking back at what we began to consider and weigh out in regards to what we value within our connections in our life. And we'll be bringing that, what we wanted to create, what we were hoping to change, we're going to bring that into fruition with this Libra full moon. It is about creating a balance and a harmony within the energy that we share with others in our life, the value that that energy contains for us and for others, what stays and what goes. It is about reevaluating our commitments. Are they balanced? Are we overcommitting? Are we undercommitting? How are others committing to us? Is it a reciprocal exchange? Is it fair, the energy that moves through our lives with our committed relationships? And like I said, that can be love, work, friendships, family. Now, Libra also represents compromise and weighing options. So with that Uranus energy that's involved, we may be looking for a new perspective, new ways to connect and work through the energy that we exchange with others, that provides a more beneficial and harmonious experience. Now, Virgo, when we're in Virgo with the moon, Virgo in the olden days was there to separate the wheat from the chaff when they brought in the harvest. What was valuable and useful and what was not. And then Virgo would give it to Libra, who would weigh it out on its scales and distribute it evenly and fairly. So there's going to be a lot of that energy with this full moon of looking at what we have that is of value and removing those things that simply are not. Now, Libra often is said to represent justice. And in this circumstance, this could be about looking at the consequences of our actions and reevaluating how what we have chosen may have positively or negatively affected what we experience. Libra people tend to be extroverted and charming, and they love connection. That's very important to them. So these are things that will be involved in this Libra moon energy. We're going to want to be social. We're going to feel an ease in relating to people, which is very good for having conversations and working through things that may have been imbalanced in the past. We're going to want to connect to others. And you know, that goes along with the Pluto and Aquarius energy right now of really stepping into our authenticity so that we can connect with the people that are truly meant to be part of our lives. Because when we're not being authentic, we end up connecting to people who are not maybe meant for us. They're not quite right, and the experiences we have are not right. So being authentic, which Libra represents as well, is a very big part of this energy. Now, the full moon in Libra energy, it plays right into, it's leading us into when the nodes shift signs on July, let's see, it's like July 17th, yes, July 17th, the nodes of the moon, North Node and South Node, will move into Aries and Libra. So the South Node will be in Libra, and that is where we're going to have a touch of destiny help us let go of things that are creating disharmony within our lives, things that do not create a balanced distribution of energy within our relationships with others. And those themes that come from the Libra new moon last September in 2022, those are going to be closing with this Libra full moon. And we'll start to really be able to move forward on what we want to rebalance. Whatever we've been thinking about since the Libra new moon last September, the action to really begin to change those things will come after this full moon. We spend approximately 6 months from the new moon in a sign looking at what we need to change, what we need to adjust. And then when the full moon of that sign comes in, we're able to really begin to implement those changes. Now, there is a second Aries new moon on April 20th and 21st into the 21st. Now, that Aries new moon is conjunct the North Node with a solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aries, which is a degree of finality, of closure, and it is square Pluto. Now that is Aries, the opposite sign of Libra. So as that second new moon with Aries moves in, that is where we really begin to move into the energy of rebalancing these things that we've looked at under Libra in a way that is positive for us. And the solar eclipse that is happening at that time will help remove the things that have prevented this balance. And the North Node of Destiny being there will be helping us move into a path that we are meant for. And with the square of Pluto to that Aries new moon and all of that energy, then we are able to realistically see the direction we need to go and make the permanent changes that are required to move in that direction. It is very much a weighing of our independence versus our dependence with others. How that affects us, how it may be balanced or imbalanced. All of this energy is about creating a better environment for our individual self within the committed relationships we have with others. It's about getting centered, really. We're always trying to create balance between the two ends of the axis with signs, whether it be Aries and Libra, Taurus and Scorpio. As we move through life, we're trying to create a balance between those two ends, the two different aspects of that energy, because of course Aries and Libra are very different. Taurus and Scorpio are very different. So we're trying to create energies in our life that keep us balanced. That's the goal, is to balance out in the center of all those axes that represent our energy and our life experience within our natal chart. And this energy can bring in fated meetings with people, lovers, friends, colleagues, people that bring in harmony instead of imbalance. Just keep in mind that before we can experience balance with another, we have to be balanced within ourselves. And that's what this energy is hoping to help us accomplish. The balance within ourselves and our life that allows us to move towards relationships that bring in that balance and harmony, that are reciprocal, that give us that feeling of safety and security to be our authentic selves. The relationships that we bring into our lives either balance or completely imbalance that feeling of safety and foundation, nurturing that safe energy in which we can be our true selves and take off any mask. So this energy is wanting to help us understand what we need to do that, what we need to change within ourselves, as well as what we need to change in how we choose relationships that come into our lives. Now, yes, there always has to be the energy that people who are creating imbalance may leave our lives. And if that energy cannot be transformed in a way that creates balance, then that connection leaves our lives. But it opens up the opportunity to find those others that truly do reciprocate our energy and create balance and harmony in our life. And with Pluto squaring this energy, he's there to help us really see realistically what transformations need to take place so that we can create that balance in the relationship we have with other people, so that we have harmony, that we are feeling loved, and that it is a beautiful experience, that the relationships we have that we're committed to are that beautiful Venus-Neptune connection that can create magic and joy and creativity. The relationships we have in our life can either stifle or really increase our creative experience. So it's very important that that energy exchange with others is right for us. And that's what this energy is hoping to help us understand. So I hope that the information will help you move through this energy in a way and use it in a way that allows you to see better what you need in regards to how you connect to others, so that not only you are getting the support, the structure, the nurturing that you need in your relationships, so that you're allowed to be your true self, but you're also able to connect to people that you can give that to in return, because that's what creates the balance. When we receive what we give and give equally what we receive, that's where the beauty of connecting to others can change our lives in an indescribable way. And as I mentioned, there is a touch of destiny here. So if you let yourself move through this energy and you trust what you feel and what you know is right for you, you are going to find the right relationships that will create a beautiful, harmonious energy within your life. So thank you for joining me. There will soon be a video up for the Aries new moon, the second one on April 20th and 21st, to talk about how that energy connects to this and helps it all play out and helps us start to really move towards finding or transforming the relationships in our lives that can create a much more harmonious and pleasant experience. So please join me for that. And again, thank you for joining me for this video.